All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This day is the AM Club right here on MX24. Now, time for us to get into Lifestyle Daily. But before we get into that, well, at Equity Health Insurance, the well-being of our members takes precedence. We recognize the unique healthcare needs of individuals and families, which is why we are delighted to present our Ebusua Health Plan. This health plan is crafted to promote the enduring health and happiness of you and your loved ones. Our plans are meticulously tailored to offer comprehensive and competitive health insurance coverage for individuals, families, and smaller groups. Access to quality care is just a phone call away, offering continual assurance of your family's welfare. So contact us on 0546 645 465 or better yet 0503 860 381 hashtag here for you. Now let's get into the conversation now. Today we're talking about the power of morning meditation. Now joining us for the conversation will be Mr. Michael Adote. He's a life coach and founder of Poimen. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, Poimen. Okay.
What's that about?
Poimen means shepherd.
Shepherd.
Yeah, it's a Greek word for shepherd.
Okay.
All right. Nice. Okay.
So morning meditation. You're telling us that everybody meditates.
Yes.
Once you have a problem, whatever issue, if you are dealing with issues, you meditate.
No, the point is once your thoughts are thoroughly occupied by something in a given time, you are meditating.
That is meditation.
Yeah.
Wait, then what's the difference between meditation and worrying
Or thinking.
or thinking?
So the point is, are you thinking to the point that you are so absorbed in thought?
Okay.
Once your thinking or your worrying gets to that point, you are in meditation.
Wow.
So that presupposes that meditation is neither good nor bad.
Okay.
But it is what you are thinking of that makes it good or bad.
Okay. So when I think for the purposes of this conversation, we are skewing towards the good
Yeah,
aspect. So let's say,
definitely.
so we are talking about morning meditation. What does that entail?
Okay, since it's morning, it's going to be the early hours of the day.
Right.
And it's usually because when you wake up from sleep, you are in a state of mind that makes meditation suited. So I explained that shortly. But it's something that happens in the morning. It's something that requires that you set time aside and you occupy your mind with something. Whatever that is depends on the person. It could be a personal issue you are dealing with in your life. It could be people you work with. Maybe you have somebody you live with, your family, your colleagues, and you are thinking about them, and you're occupied in thought about them. Or it could be a project. You have a deadline to meet. You are thinking of how you are going to get through the deadline, and you are making sure that everything you are thinking of, you are not leaving anything out. Once you are in that state, you are meditating because you've made time for it, and you've decided that I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to focus on this particular activity.
Okay, so would you say that the morning period is the best time for meditation?
Not exactly, because some people, it varies. So let me explain why it varies. I am a father of 3 young boys.
Boys?
Yes.
Boys.
Hey,
And so
you have your work cut out for you.
my children can walk in anytime in 5 a.m., 4 a.m., and they want something. So if you tell me to meditate first thing in the morning, I won't be able to do it. So it's not really morning, afternoon, evening. But the reason why people say morning is when you wake up, it's said that with scientific proof backing it, they're able to measure brain waves. And the brain wave you are in is called alpha when you wake up. When you are daydreaming, you're also in alpha. When you are about to sleep, you are also in alpha. So when you are in that state of mind, you are in a state of mind that allows creativity, allows focus. But the challenge for many people is that you are grudgy, you are sleepy, you are tired, so you are not really focused, right? And so if we are talking about meditating, you have to be conscious of even how well you respond to it as an individual. And then once you're able to figure out a time that you can best meditate in the morning, then you can get into it. So there's really no hard and fast rule about it being morning, afternoon, evening. But if you can do it in the morning, it's great. But there are things we can talk about that can help you get the best of your mind when you're engaged in it.
So what would you say are some of the benefits of doing
Of
this?
meditation.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start by saying this, that the power to choose is a function of consciousness. The power to choose is a function of consciousness. So what is consciousness? I explain. Consciousness simply means that you are aware of your environment. I'm aware of you, you're aware of me, I'm aware of him, he's aware of me.
Yeah.
And then you're aware of your environment, everything that's going on around us here. And you can respond. You've asked the question, I'm responding to you. You can follow up with a question. So that's consciousness. But the benefit of meditation is it gets you into a mind state where I talked about the alpha wave. That is a frame of mind that brings creativity, it brings focus, it brings clarity. So when it gets you into that frame of mind, it gives you control over your emotions and control over your environment. That's an immediate benefit of meditation, because what people wake up in and they are unable to make the most of it, meditation gets you into that state where you are alert and you can think clearly under pressure, you can be creative, and you can excel in your environment.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we get it, but how do we go about meditation? Is it just spontaneous? Is it with us, or there's a practical way of getting there?
Okay.
Good. I'm thinking you need to sort of clear your mind, right, to get into the space where now
can
you
meditate.
can focus entirely. And I'm just here thinking I struggle with focus sometimes. So if I'm to sit at one place and try to clear my mind and focus, and I try maybe some 2 minutes, then I start thinking about something else, and I start thinking. So I just want to know, like, what the process really is like, and how to stay in focus.
In focus,
Yes.
okay. So are you asking as a beginner or as
Please,
somebody
I'm
who
a
does
beginner.
it? Okay, so beginner, all right. So I know where to start.
Yes, please.
Now, for a beginner, first of all, I would say that you have to come to terms with the fact that there's a dimension to you that you are not aware of. And that dimension is a dimension of greatness. It's in every human being. If you don't settle that within yourself, you'll keep finding answers or looking for inspiration outside of you. So when you settle that in your spirit, the second thing you have to do is to schedule time for meditation. So like I said, if I want to do it when I wake up, my kids will not allow me. So I may have to do it after I've dropped them from school. So find a suitable time in the morning or in the afternoon where you are least likely to be distracted. And just schedule, book an appointment with yourself on your phone. And just keep that reminder there so that at least 30, 20 minutes before, your phone will prompt you that you have this appointment coming up, so that you can clear your desk and prepare yourself for it. Now, the challenge for most people is they don't go into meditation with a pre-focus.
Okay.
So what's a pre-focus? Let's say you want to focus on this. And I always tell people, start with objects around you, very easy, relatable objects. Don't start with complex issues. Start with easy to relate objects in
When you
front of
say easy, because I would say it's relative. I mean,
Yes,
because
obviously.
some people are complex in their own space. So you find them doing something that maybe you might feel like, okay, this is very difficult for me. But then for somebody else, it would be very, very easy.
Exactly.
So when you say easy, is it with respect to the personality or the persona, or there are certain things that are quite easy that you could just,
No, so easy is in the object. Just look for something around you. Nothing complex, nothing that requires you to travel and go on a pilgrimage to go and look for some. Just something very easy in front of you. So let's take, for example, I want to meditate on this object. So that's my pre-focus. So I know that when it's 9 o'clock,
This is what
and this is what I'm going to occupy my thoughts with for the next, choose maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Don't go beyond 15 minutes if you are just starting. But anything within 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, set your timer. So you have your pre-focus. You know ahead of time what you're going to think about. You know when the meditation starts. You sit down. You don't even have to have the object with you. You can move to a different space because you're not going to look at it. You just need a picture of it in your mind's eye. Now, you sit with that image for 10 minutes. If you're afraid you'll be distracted, just close your eyes and just think about the object. Now, I had a personal experience with this when I started meditating. There was a chair my son likes to sit on. And for some reason, I never paid attention to the chair. But one day I decided I'm going to just meditate on this seat. And in meditating, I discovered that there was a label behind the chair that I had never seen before. So immediately what that brought to light was that I had seen it subconsciously, but I wasn't aware of it consciously.
Okay.
So that's what, when you meditate on something, would happen. If you just took this plant and you occupy your thoughts with it for 10 minutes, you discover something about it that was there, that you've observed, but it hasn't come to your consciousness. So in observing things around you, two things will happen. You find inspiration and you make discoveries. Inspiration is usually things that you were not thinking of that just come out of nowhere. And then discovery is something about the thing that you are thinking about that just picks your
So can
imagination.
I meditate on her? Can you meditate on a person?
Yes, you can,
Oh, I
but
see.
in a healthy way. Because some people take it to
they take it to the extreme.
Yes.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Interesting.
So that's a very simple way. So you start with objects and you keep progressing. Then you can deal with complex issues without getting distracted or losing focus.
So
That's it.
I'm coming back to the object. So I'm thinking about the object.
Yeah,
Do I need to know what exactly to think about?
no.
So I'm just there and I'm thinking, okay, the vase is red and the leaves are green
Yeah,
and it's here and it's beautifying the
Yeah.
place. Then what? Why do they put it?
So that's the conscious side of you trying
Right.
to control. So that's beta, and then the beta is the state of mind we are in when we are going about things. We are logical, we are thinking. But in meditation, that side of you is offline. So,
So
when you
if I say I'm coming to sit down and I'm meditating, won't it have to move from beta to the alpha?
so the alpha is not automatic. You are now
Right.
developing the skill.
Yes.
And you want to be able to do it outside of sleep, outside of daydreaming, and outside of going to sleep, because that's when naturally we are all in alpha. But when you want to meditate, you want to allow your subconscious mind to take over. So you just sit with a thought. And all you are doing with your conscious mind is keeping yourself focused on the thought. But what you want to discover is what comes out naturally, not something you are forcing. It's like, I want to see something green from this plant. I want to see, you miss it. But if
Okay.
you say you want to just sit with a thought and see what inspiration wells up from within you, that's when you are allowing yourself to meditate. But once you are trying to direct your mind, and you are not meditating.
Okay. Can I come in here? I would want us to come back a little bit.
Sure.
You made a submission that, okay, if I'm looking at the plant right now, seated on the table, I am meditating on it and I get discoveries. I mean, okay, so now I'm inquisitive. I want to find out what's really inside. Well, I never knew there was something inside the pot. Fair enough. And you said we should be doing it between 10 to 15 minutes.
As a
It shouldn't,
beginner.
as a
When
beginner,
your
it
time
shouldn't
is
go
up,
beyond. Normally, as humans, there are a lot of distractions. So you might be paying attention to this. But Diana comes in, she's looking so pretty, and my mind goes back to...
But are we supposed to be looking? That's why he's saying that you see
Ideally,
it
close
in
your eye.
Okay,
mind's
so
eye.
it's in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there still could be distractions.
Yes, there
people
will be.
talking.
Maybe she comes in and maybe
my
her heels are
heels.
making... you get it.
So there'll be distraction.
Yes.
So what you do is draw yourself back to where you were originally. So you are learning to do something.
Yeah.
A time will come, you can be in the midst of people, you can disconnect for a few minutes and be so detached from the world around you and replug in when you become an expert at it. But for a beginner, you want to minimize distraction. And if the distraction does happen, a lot of times it's not even somebody telling you something, it's your mind drifting. The mind drifts a lot. It's thinking about maybe what you eat for lunch and what you're going to do after work.
Yeah.
All those things come out. You just have to rein your mind back and set it on what you're trying to think. So it's like when you're learning to swim, they'll tell you to hold your breath underwater.
Yeah.
The first time you try it, 10 seconds will feel like a minute.
Yeah.
But then with time, you can
Yeah.
hold your breath for a long period. So it's the same with meditation. With time, you get used to it, you can focus longer, and then you can expand it.
So apart from being able to focus on things, what are some of the benefits you have personally experienced because of meditation?
So one of the things meditation does for me is I become very much in tune with my creative side. So I usually write, I usually develop coaching programs for people. So sometimes I have to sit with a challenge a client has told me and try to find an answer for the person and sit with it, because there's a part of us that wants to, they call it the advice monster. As a coach, when somebody tells me a problem, I just want to go into advice mode. But I'm learning to stop advising, sit with the issue, think through it, and allow the inspiration that I need to come from within. And then I'm able to determine, okay, this is how I'm going to help this person, and this is what I'm going to take them through. So that's a primary way that meditation helps me.
Would that work for everyone? That
No.
everyone will get inspiration?
Everybody gets inspiration in unique ways, but everybody gets inspired. But you'll be inspired by things that are very unique to you and how you've been created as an individual. So it's not set in stone for everybody.
How long does it take for you to move from beginning stage to becoming a pro?
It varies, but if you want to be very habit-driven, I would say if you keep at this random meditation for 1 month, and what you do that 1 month is important, which I'll add to what I've said so far. You have to cue your mind. So when it's the time to start the meditation, you can just do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are cueing your mind that every time I'm counting down, I'm going into meditation. If you do that continuously as a habit for a month, your mind becomes conditioned to know that every time you are counting down, I have to disengage from the environment around me and I have to focus on something that has been said before me. And when you are coming out of it, you do the same thing, 10, 9, 8. Then your mind knows, I'm going in, I'm coming. Because you can't sit like a monk and be detached from everybody, and then people are trying to talk to you and you tell them, hold on, I'm trying to concentrate on something. So doing those cues helps the mind. The mind has to be conditioned. It's has great potential, but it can be unruly. That's why it drifts when we are trying to get it to focus. But when you condition it, it's able to behave, it's able to contain itself.
So when you started learning how to meditate, what were some of the challenges that you faced? And right now, comparatively, like, how have you been able to even overcome them? And do you even still experience some of
Yeah, every now and then there are a few slip-ups, but it's just getting back on track.
Yeah.
People feel when you make a mistake in life,
that's it.
No, but life you can pick up and continue,
See,
because
this
the mistakes.
one is DDOV.
Yeah.
You take a break, but you still have
just
to
continue. You just continue. You learn from the mistake and try not to repeat it. But there's basically three things. One, I forget when I started. I did it 9 o'clock today. I forgot to do it the following day, or something came up, and I said I'll do it later, and I never did it. So forgetfulness is key. Distraction is also another thing. My children. Sometimes people want to talk to you. A call, I forgot to put my phone on silent. A call comes through. It distracts you. And the mistake many people make is not going in with a focus. So I want to meditate, but my mind is blank. You are setting yourself up for a hard time of meditation. You end up dealing with too many issues and leaving with no clarity on anything.
Are there types of meditations? Are there types? Is there? Do we have categories to it?
I believe there are, but I just focus primarily on meditation that just helps me focus and live in the moment.
Okay. There are some people who would, for some time, say that, okay, I'm going off a break of my phone, my tablets, nothing, and focusing on me. Is that a type of meditation? Would you consider that?
I try to stay true to what the definition is.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and when it's occupying, so if that person disengages from everything, are they occupying their thoughts with something constructive, something that is beneficial, something that's going to help them? If they are not, even if they are in a monastery or they detach from everything, they may come back even worse off than they were. But it's what you occupy your mind with. That's the most important thing in meditation.
So, do you think meditation works for everybody?
It's yes and no, because of what you are thinking about. If it's a good thing, you see the benefits of it. If it's a wrong thing, then the ripple effect. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Acrimony.
Yes.
Yes.
You saw the extreme when she wanted to get even with her husband who had left her.
Yeah.
When you occupy your thoughts with the wrong thing, it can. But if it was a constructive occupation of the mind, you would also see the benefit of it.
Our work occupation, where we find ourselves as journalists and other people who have a very, very hectic, workload, how best can someone in that space be able to take some breaks, to meditate? Because we do know that, yes, is for a positive cause. So how can they go about it? Because this is, and I'm saying that, for me, maybe my workload might not be too much, but then someone's workload is
a lot.
Is a lot, is a lot. How can the person maneuver around that?
So the person you're talking about is a busy,
Busy, very
person.
busy, very, very busy. I'm not talking about the busy for nothing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about the busy,
genuinely busy.
Yeah,
genuinely
always
busy, always
doing
busy.
something on the phone.
Okay. I mean, you can just simply every now and then detach and just imagine like this light in front of us. The light is just slowly coming down from your head to your toe. Now, as it does that, just touch base with your body, touch base with your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your legs. Just touch base.
So
touching base is just,
it?
how do I feel in my head right now?
Okay.
How do I feel in my neck right now? You realize that there's tension somewhere in you. And the tension there, everybody manifests stress or frustration in one way or another in their body. For some people, you just watch their eyes, you know that today he's having a terrible day. Somebody's attitude, the way they walk, the way they'll eat, the way they'll talk, you can just tell that something is off. So when you do that quick scan of yourself, you are taking note of where there's stress and you are consciously releasing that stress. You just tell the stress to leave your body, and it works. So for people who are busy, you do that, it helps you just relax, prioritize what is important, and just focus on it. Rather than getting overwhelmed by all the myriad of things you have to do, you disengage, focus on one thing. And the thing with the mind is it's conditioning. Once it gets momentum to go through one thing, it just gets on a roll. But when one thing feels like it's a chore, everything else after it doesn't work. It doesn't want to do anything, and then it stays frozen.
Would you say this is the same type of, the meditation you just described is the same type of meditation that yoga? I mean, nowadays that's like the new thing.
Yeah, yoga.
The girlies like yoga for some reason now. So
I've never flirted with yoga.
Right.
I don't think I ever will. But people have their persuasions and things that they are drawn to. And so I always query or put in a check that always be sure that it aligns with your values and your faith as a person. If it aligns with your values, I'm not going to stop you. But if it's something that is an affront to your faith, you have to always be sure that you are not stepping into something that's going to leave you complicated with more problems than you're trying to solve.
That's true. That's true, because I tell you what, you've given us a very vivid perspective about meditation this morning, because and I'm sure I'm not the only person who felt that way, that, when it comes to meditation is...
No.
Oh, you are even talking about
Yeah.
Okay, so...
because people will light candles and then they'll sit on mats and then, You see this posture,
I mean,
and then
it
you're
has
there
strong
for like
roots
almost close to.
in the religious
Yeah.
circles.
Yeah.
It's always there. The Bible talks about it. Eastern
Meditate
religion
on
talks
me day and
about it.
night.
But if you stay true to what the word means, interestingly in the Bible, the first time the word is used, it means two things: thoughtfulness and communication. And it was to Isaac, which was something he does every evening. So that brings to light what we talked about. It's not really a morning, afternoon, but the first time it was introduced, he goes out in the evenings to meditate.
Yeah.
And the root meaning talks about thoughtfulness, thinking through things, and being able to define what he's thinking about and come out with a course of action on what he's going to do after his thought.
Do you have any misconceptions that you've seen, you've heard about meditations that you think we should clarify?
I think a lot of people shy away from it just based on what he said, that it's something mystical and you're going to, but it's what you occupy your mind with is the most important thing. So if you occupy your mind with the right thing, you will get the right results. But some people say it's about emptying yourself and just wait. But if you empty yourself, the mind will always drift. And if you're not careful, what is it drifting to? It needs a focus.
And would you say recreational exercises or sporting activities form part of, a part of helping when it comes to meditation?
Yeah, I mean,
and if that's so, which ones would you recommend? Because there are some vigorous ones that you cannot.
Exercising builds discipline. So when you channel that discipline from a coach telling you, do the press-ups when you don't feel like doing it, or lift the weights, or hold on to the weight. I have a coach who does that to me a lot. So hold on to the weight. You are feeling the pain, but he's pushing you to go. That discipline can easily be fueled into meditation. And so any exercise that is cardio, weightlifting, HIIT workouts, you should be fine. And you channel that discipline into the exercise.
Interesting.
In recent times, there's digitalization. So there's a lot of things are on your tablets, on your phones. Do you know of any apps that can help? Have you used any that you
I've
think?
seen a lot, but I don't recommend them to people because I always say this: everybody has a brain, everybody has time, and everybody has things they want to do with their life. So take your brain, take your time, and then look at the things you want to do with your life and try to think through them. You'll find a rhythm that works for you, but if you really want, explore and find one that resonates with you and go it. But I personally think people should learn to sit and discover themselves and know this what works for me, this what doesn't work for me, and build a practice that they can sustain. Because if the app crashes, or they are doing an update, or you don't have your phone with you,
you can't meditate.
Your meditation is gone. But if it's something that's part of you, in the plane, in the meeting, wherever you are, you can always connect with your.
The way you know so much about meditation, do you have like a book coming out? Do you have something that you would eventually put together?
Perhaps
on the topic.
But I won't give any timelines. But perhaps.
It's been
Since you're telling me there's a great need for it, I will think about it.
Because to me, this is news. This is news. I haven't really thought through it. As he said, meditation, when I think of meditation, I think, okay, let's read the Bible and let's close our eyes small and think about what we've read. That's it. And so even this morning, when I see morning meditation, I'm thinking, okay, prayer and thanksgiving.
It's the same morning meditation.
Okay. So let me just use what you've shared to talk about the three words: center, focus, and thrive. Okay. So if you take a popular Bible verse like Joshua 1:8, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. Everybody can rattle. Most people can, at least. God is telling Joshua, and then the word meditate is there, that's why I'm dwelling on it. So God is telling Joshua, make my word your center. So what's a center? Center is your scope. Let it shape your radius, your influence, your way of life. So that's your center. But then God tells you, meditate on it. So the meditating there, focus on the word. So get into the word, get behind the words you've read and see it's like when you read the book of Proverbs, Solomon was a miner. And so miners will always go deep to find the precious minerals. So God is inviting Joshua to get into the word and draw the things that you don't see on the surface. That is focus. Then God says something interesting at the end. Then you will make your way prosperous and you will have good success. That's thrive. Thrive is always a consequence of center and focus. Thrive is never something you can force. It's just a reaction to something that you are centered on, something that you are focused on. And so God says you will make your way prosperous and you will have good success. Yeah. If you center, focus, you thrive. That's it.
Wow, if you center, focus, you will thrive. I like that.
I have been schooled.
I like that. I like that. I mean, it's very insightful to hear things like this. And you did say that it's not only about mourning, you know. Yeah. Yes, because meditate on my word day and night.
Clearly, that's right there.
Meditate on my word day and night. Wow. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for today's word.
Thank you too.
But you know, just to wrap it up, if you have anything on meditation that probably we haven't touched on, that you feel that at least we could go there, please kindly do so.
I just want to tell people that your life is like think of the car you love the most. What's your favorite car?
Honestly,
What's your favorite car?
What's my favorite car?
Hey.
Okay, well, for me,
quickly.
No limits.
Don't think.
Don't worry
Just
about the
say
money.
No, I just think I have a variety. I have a scope.
Okay, so tell me one that you would wish you would ride in today.
A Bentley.
A Bentley, okay. So the Bentley is a powerful car. It's a luxury car. It has a V12 engine sitting behind the hood, but the car never drives itself. It's a driver that drives it. Yeah. That's the mind we have. The mind is moving this powerful being called human beings that you and I are. And what we feed the mind with is so important because it is what is directing that powerful car, which is in this case is you. So I would just want to caution people, be mindful of what you are hearing and seeing. If you don't take charge of those centers, your life, I don't want to say the word never, but it won't amount to what it is supposed to amount to. So that's just my word of caution. So just take charge of what you see and what you hear. If you take charge of it and you add meditation to it, you'll start seeing that then the Bentley is going in the direction you want it to go. Yeah. So you can take it anywhere you want to go and be confident that it will serve you. But if you don't take care of the mind, then the driver will take the Bentley and drive it into a ditch, and you have to spend a lot of money fixing it.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right. Finally, we want to know, I mean, we've seen poor men, and it has to do with, you've given us a new word today. I mean, I didn't know it has to do anything with shepherd wives. So what do you do? What's poor men all about?
Poor Men is a coaching company. We focus on 3 areas: the mind, purpose, and leadership.
Okay.
So we help people overcome limiting beliefs when it comes to the mind.
Okay.
Purpose, we help you discover your purpose and live it. And then leadership, we help you lead with diligence.
Okay.
How do you help someone discover their purpose?
Oh, there's a process. Yeah, there's a whole process to it. I actually launched a course on this on Udemy. So the course helps people. You connect the dots on your life story and you realize that your purpose has been with you all through your life, but you just didn't know it. So the discovery helps people then center their lives around their God-given purpose and live from that place of consciousness.
So how does it work? I mean, how do I just walk in? Is it a school? How does it work?
Okay, so the course, you can take it online on Udemy or you can sign up for a course.
Okay.
And it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks and then you are done. The first week is an introduction, telling you what the course is. The second week is where it gets very intensive. We let people go through what is called a memory prompt. So you track back all the way to your childhood, and then we take you through a discovery process. And for many people, it's like they are living their life through somebody's eyes. You know, their stories, their experiences, everything just comes to light, and then they wonder what they've been doing all this while with their life, and then they want to start living purposefully. Then we tell you what to do now that you've discovered it.
Okay.
And you live your life from that point on.
All right. So if someone wants to sign up, someone wants to be a part of this, how do we go about it?
So there's a contact line. I don't know if it's okay to mention
please
it
go ahead.
online.
Please
So
go ahead.
if you want to reach us, it's 059 2317355. Once you send a WhatsApp, we'll respond to you, and then we'll tell you what to do
On
next.
social media as well?
Social media, Michael Adote or Poyman. So
Okay.
once you type my name as you see it on the screen,
Yeah.
you'll find everything that has to do with me. Or you type Poyman, you'll also see us.
What's the-
Poimen.
Okay. What's the coaching space like for you?
I think when I started, it was very foreign, but now there's a lot of interest. There's ITF, International Coaching Federation, recently opened a chapter in Ghana. So coaches are coming together. There's a lot happening in that space.
And are people open?
Yes, people are. Interestingly, the people you least expect are. People
Who are
in
the
top
people you least
management,
expect?
where most people think this person is successful. What does he
Right.
need a coach for? But
They are the ones,
they are the
coming
ones
in.
who jump at it more. And I always tell people, if Messi and Ronaldo still have coaches, everybody should have a coach.
Wow.
So,
But just to finish it up, does a coach need a coach?
yes.
So you have a coach?
I have people I sit and listen to and
Wow,
learn from.
interesting.
Yes. Everybody.
And they
has to
also
be-
would have coaches.
Yes.
Wow. So who is the overall coach?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
you keep growing and,
Yeah.
and sharpening yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Michael Adote, for coming in. It was an insightful one.
Very insightful.
Thank you.
I mean, because we just knew about the word, we didn't know what is in the word,
in the
and you've done that extensively. A very big thank you to
Thank
you
you too.
one more time. So, in case you want to be a part of it, all you have to do is just look for Poyman, all right, or look for Mr. Michael Adote on social media, and most definitely get to be a part of it. What do we have next?
We have the plug. We are talking to Dance Lord. Yeah.
Today you
And
dance.
this is me.
Today you dance. All right, so we'll be right back and we'll plug in. We'll be right back.